Am I fucking dumb? They've given me another unsolvable puzzle, chat. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't do it. Is this just for the items, actually? I'm getting trolled is the problem. You had it? How? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, true. Okay, wait, check this out. He's cracked. Okay, is there any more encounters left? Morning, gamers. What's my cap for this split, by the way? It's Karen's Houndoom, so 47. What are you playing? You know, it's so hard as a content creator. Something that you think about a lot is like, how much do I have to communicate to my audience? Like, there's always a balance to strike, right? Between like roping in as many new people as possible and making sure that new people always know what's going on. And then at the same time, you don't want to repeat the same information over and over again for the people that already do know what's going on. So it's something that I spend a lot of time thinking about is like, how do I design my overlays and how much do I talk on stream about what I'm currently doing? What are the things that I need to explain? What are the things that I don't need to explain, right? And the interesting part is like, I think sometimes I overthink these things because you can put as much work and thought into this as you want, but like as 70% of people are still like not even going to read the title. So like at some point, who do I want on this team? This game really only gives you Pokemon, huh? Oh, I can get Mamoswine now, right? 80% of your audience is reached by 20% of the effort. It's one of those things, the 80-20 rule, where I think if you, when you first hear about it, you start to apply it because you hear like, oh, this applies to like basically everything in life. And I think people have started over applying it now. I think it's gotten too popular. I think we still need like to think about it a little bit more critically, you know? But it is one of those things. 80% of your calorie intake is from the first 20% of your food? That can't be right. What game are you going to do a tier list for after Hulk Soul Silver? Emerald. I'm a little bit torn on how I'm going to do Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire. If I'm going to do just Emerald. If I'm going to do just Emerald. If I'm going to do Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then have to evaluate Steven or Wallace champs, you know? I'm still a little bit torn on that because so far I've done both versions, but when you introduce the third one, I also for Gen 5 it's going to be really tough if I'm going to do all 4 games or if I'm going to do just Black and White 1. I'm still a little bit confused on that part. Do both on Gen 5. It starts to get, I think I should probably just do separate tier lists at that point. Because it's, maybe they're similar enough to where you could do it. It starts to get really iffy. Because like sometimes you might encounter a case where like, oh, hey, dude, Excadrill is like, just as an example, I'm not saying this is the case. Excadrill is amazing in Black and White 1, but it's actually terrible in Black and White 2. And then where do I place it in the tier list and how does that reflect, you know? I think I'd have to do 2 separate ones, if anything. Maybe, I don't know if I would, I probably would just do that. Now for Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby, the differences are low enough where I think you could justify putting them all into one. Or just, if I'm lazy, I could just do Emerald and it would be fine. But I don't know, because of how important the Elite Four is in these, like having a completely different champion matters so much, right? Yeah, I think what we do is we test Emerald, and then we do a little bit of testing with Steven versus like Steven as well, just for Ruby and Sapphire, because that's, let's be real, that's the only difference that matters, right? Who plays Ruby, Sapphire over Emerald? Wasn't Jaden's Nuzlocke, her first Nuzlocke, the most successful Nuzlocke video of all time? The piece of media that made this whole community exist in the way that it does in the 20s of the 2000s. Wasn't that played in Ruby? The original Nuzlocke, the very first one, was Ruby hard mode. Obviously, people play these games. When you think you're going to stream more consistently, the idea is I want to try to do, while I'm still working on the run and bun video, once to twice a week doing these tier lists. And then once the run and bun video is done, I'm going to start a new big run. I have some ideas for what it's going to be. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to talk about it. Not going to spoil it. There's some ideas I have. And when that happens, we'll do 4 to 5 days a week again. We should look into relearner movesets, I guess, starting in Blackthorn. I'm going to try to do the Elite Four research even more diligently this time. Well, first of all, I'm going to try to actually do most of the testing on the correct level cap. Which was a little bit of a problem in the Fire Red Leaf Green one, I will admit. I think 1 or 2 placements are a little bit, but I think, honestly, I tested all the important ones on the final level cap anyway. I think it was fine. People like the tier list video. I think it did. The responses were good. It seemed like people felt like it was actually something that we put effort in, which is good. I think Guts Rap being B tiers bid seconds in years was modest. I stand by this. That did not matter. What are you even doing with it? Like, what is it? Sweet. It didn't even get close to killing anything on Lorelei. It doesn't kill anything on Bruno. On Agatha, you get outsped, you get intimidated, you don't kill a bunch of shit because you don't have facade. On Lance, you get intimed, and I don't think it missed like any ranges on Champ. No, I don't. People were saying this, but if you had to stream any other game besides Pokemon, what do you choose? Like for fun or trying to build like a career out of it? To build a career out of it? It's something I think about sometimes. I think if I wasn't able to stream Pokemon, I would still do content, but I don't know if I would do gaming content. I think I would do like media review type shit or something, video essay type shit. I don't know. And then just kind of stream for fun. Stream like roguelikes or something. I don't think I would stream League. It sounds horrible. What am I looking for here?
I bawled so hard they thought I was a fucking nutsack.
True. Mamoswine is probably like really fucking good, right? I probably should. No. I think we thought about testing it on Claire, and it was garbanzo beans, right? Do I need to check everyone's move? Do a lot of mons in this game really have like good relearner moves? Let's do a little bit of research on that. We should think about this now that we're in Blackthorn, I guess. I think most Pokemon don't have good relearner moves in this game, right? Have you heard of a small streamer named Alpha Red? I heard he's the best Nuzlocker. Yeah, the streets are saying that. The streets were talking, by the way. I read some, I made the mistake of reading some, not even main channel comments, but pChal daily comments on the episodes of us testing here. And people were like upset that I wasn't like doing it more systematic. That like, basically what people were bringing up is this idea of like, oh, I should just hack in all the Pokemon that are available at every point and then test one by one and not do like the run-throughs, right? Testing Ho-Oh. Wait, this is a good question, actually. Hold on, we need to think about this. I mean, why not, right? We don't have to do it now because I don't have the Master Ball on me, but we'll think about it. Oh, I do have a Master Ball. Never mind. Yeah, we're going to test Ho-Oh. Okay. So people were talking about how I should do this like more systematic, like, oh, hack in every Pokemon and then just test them all per gym fight. The issue, and I had obviously thought about this, obviously. I thought about this before, and while I was doing my testing and like that. And worth noting here, PP up in the Tin Tower. I think that's actually kind of important. I think the problem with that approach is that you don't get like the regular like Nuzlocke experience at all, and you get like a good in the way that I'm doing it now. It's like a good compromise because it gives you the context of what like a regular put together team of Nuzlocke Pokemon might actually look like, and that makes like the way you build teams differently, rather than it gives you a better overview of what you can have and what might be like mutually exclusive, which is something that you have to like super keep track of. If you do like hack in everything and then do the testing. Yeah, it also completely skips encounter writing, which is super important in this game, by the way. And I'm actually probably going to talk about a lot in the video. I have no idea how to get out of here, by the way. I'm so cooked, guys. So I think this is like, but if you do only run-throughs, then obviously like completely legitimate Nuzlocke run-throughs, that's super inefficient, right? So the idea is basically like this, the way of doing it like this is like a good compromise, right? Where you get like a little bit of both. And I don't know. I think that makes sense. Hold on. I got it, guys.
Any Ratterman? XDD.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if I've ever done that puzzle in my life. Because, like, the only time I played... It was Sacred Gold that I played on stream. Have I ever played Heart Gold on stream? Yeah, I did the... Oh, this was so long ago. The Centret solo run. Nobody's gonna remember that one. Is it this way? Yeah, it is. Damn, he got it. Oh, wait, this is just for an item? Fuck me. Time before the candy pill? Oh, yeah. That was way before the candy pill, too. Is it okay to paste a Twitch clip of Small-Ant? Someone made him heal a sick cow thinking it would give him moo-moo milk, but he got nothing? Who the f cares, bro? So, to answer your question, Neuroner, and I'm not trying to rag on you as a person here, it is perfectly fine to post Twitch clips whenever you want. The problem is that I will watch the clip, and then if it's garbage, I'll tell you. And the bigger problem is that you already described the entire contents of the clip to us, and it sounded like a terrible clip. No disrespect to Small-Ant at that point. Big fan of Tanner. I just feel like you have a not quite fleshed out understanding of what kind of clips would be interesting to the people in this stream, you know? Which is fine, maybe you're new. In which case, by the way, welcome to the community, in which we build character and social awareness through me ragging on you guys until you behave like normal human beings. Okay, we're catching Ho-Oh and we're testing it. There was a joke in it that works if you speak German. See, and now the problem is I'm already so primed against this clip because of the way that you presented it that I don't want to watch it anyway. So we all missed out on that part now. Terra resorts to clausing Lucid. Let's check this one out. That is a good clip title. I'm intrigued. Do I put this on the monitor? It's a whole ordeal to have you guys watch it as well. I don't have the technology for that. I apologize.
Oh, okay. I don't fight optionals in this game like that. Okay. Priest, I said it in the beginning of the run. Optionals don't have a proper team. Look, Priest, they're random. Look, they're random. Another thing, Lou.
That's pretty funny. Okay, that's pretty funny. Anyway, it's definitely not the perfect approach, but we have to approach this realizing that there is no way to perfectly do a tier list, because in the end, there is no way to do an objective ranking of all the Pokemon for a Nuzlocke of a game. It's just not, like, remind me to get Toxic Spikes back on Tentacruel later. It is, in the end, going to be entirely opinion and vibe based. We can take steps to, like, inform our opinions in, like, some objective way, but in the end, right, there is no, like, fundamental truth of the universe that like where the rankings are just correct, right? It's the way I view these videos. It's more of a guide to the games than anything from someone who plays this a lot for people who don't play this a lot, right? I'm gonna so dodge this guy. Hold on. Why are these Andrews level 33, man? Also, is Magical Leaf really Meganium's best move at this point? That's crazy, no? Oh, also, we should probably go to a mart and talk to the guy so we can, because I'm pretty sure we'll have the Choice Scarf at this point. And I will be evaluating the Choice Scarf in my ratings. I think at least by the time we get to E4. I think before that it just makes things too complicated. Yeah, the Evo Stone situation in this game is miserable. I really can't deny. Is there any fucking Pokemon here, by the way, that I can catch? What route is this? Anyone know? Is it like 47 or something? Is that right? Ooh, that was in Rain and in Torrent. This guy f***ed me. Holy. Have you played Marvel's Rivals? I don't like shooter games. Well, you know, I don't even dislike them. I'm just extremely terrible at them. Third person even more. I really, the whole third person thing is not for me at all. Okay, I think we can get something we don't have yet. Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure everything I can get here, I can get at earlier points as well. There's nothing that I can get here that I couldn't get previously, right? What about like Lantern? No, you can get Chinchu way earlier, right? And I said, do you think adding the Florges Massacre in your A2 video would have been a fun tidbit of lore? Or would have made too bloated? I think we had a version of that in the first draft of that video, and it didn't work pacing-wise, so we cut it. It's a learning moment where I can wipe anywhere. I mean, yeah, I understand. It's also just a fun fight to include, but it just didn't really work, I think, with the rest of the storytelling, because I don't remember the video exactly, but I'm pretty sure the emotional story beats at that part of the video are pretty different from just like, oh, hey, here's another dangerous fight, right? Like that part, that third act of the video is about Hawlucha's triumph and how much better Hawlucha is. And like the whole concept of that video was that we stay focused on the perspective of that encounter throughout the individual acts, right? So it didn't really make sense from that perspective to include the Florges fight, even though it was a fun fight. Why does the final trainer in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I assume Gold and Silver as well, why does the final trainer of the final route before Victory Road have a Rapidash and a Fluffy? What the f were they cooking, man? Like, be so for real, no?
But your Pokemon can follow you, so I'm afraid it's the best Pokemon game.
Yeah, Rhyhorn otherwise is only Safari Zone. Let's pick it up. Will there be more draft locks? Hell yeah! Dude, I had so much fun with the last one. Because I like actually prepared and it was like interesting. Like, and I actually like had a good chance. It was super, super fun. I definitely want to do more. That race gave me a lot of confidence. I feel like I was playing super well. And the way I was drafting too was like, I think I'm mostly happy with just like my draft. I think my draft was like pretty close to perfect. Like if I made a few less execution mistakes, I would have like 100% won that race. Protector is after blue. Gotcha. Okay. Do you smoke? On and off. I live in Europe, so unfortunately I got addicted to nicotine when I was a teenager, and now I'm I'm vaping right now, which is also not very good for you, but it's probably orders of magnitude better than smoking. Ampharos just got 2 out of 2 static procs, by the way. Saw your German interview. That was fun. Thank you. Vaping is negative aura. It really is, dude. Nothing makes me feel more like a loser. It's so crazy. Well, to be fair, if you're in the US, and I noticed this because I'm in the US a lot for like content creator stuff, meeting with people and like hanging out at parties and shit, because none of you f***ers smoke somehow. I don't know how you guys did that. Nobody at these like parties that I go to smokes. I'm always the only person who's addicted to nicotine. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 cringe lords who like doing zins or whatever. But because of that, I don't even want to fucking smoke. Even though I'm getting drunk and stuff, I don't even want to. Like, cause I'm the only motherfucker standing outside like a fucking loser like this. And it's a communal activity, you know? Like, you Americans get your friends addicted to. Here's the thing, my friend. I tried, okay? I fucking tried. At these parties, everyone around me is drunk, okay? I'm like, listen up, buddy. You and me, we should go outside, have a smoke. Nobody! They all say no. They're like, yeah, I'll go outside with you. I'm not gonna smoke, though. I'm fine. They're drunk as fuck. And they just say no! How do you do that? That's like a superpower. And, okay, I'm gonna say something, and I wanted to be clear that I'm not saying that smoking makes you cool, okay? What I will say is, as a European who went to college, okay? As a European who went to university and started 2 different degrees, the way that I found people that I wanted to hang out with was the smoking area after class. I'm just saying that that's where I exclusively found cool people. There's just a correlation between people who started going to a lot of parties in their teens and therefore developed good social skills between that group and people who smoke. There's just a correlation there, you know? And here's the thing, smoking really doesn't even look cool. It doesn't make you cool, dude. Maybe in like very specific circumstances, okay? But if you've ever been addicted to nicotine and you live in a cold country and it's fucking rain, sleet, ice is coming out of the sky, the wind is blowing, and you huddle on your fucking balcony at like 8 p.m. to get your fucking fix of nicotine, let me tell you, that does not feel cool, okay? Dark Pulse is buying those breakable rocks. I don't even have the Rock Smash HM. Anyway, if there's any chance, I say that like there's not 100% chance. If I'm talking to any young teenagers right now, and I guess for Americans it's different because you guys don't start smoking when you're 13 like us, because you guys start going to parties when you're like 20, when you go to college or whatever. I am a very happy person, and I'm like extremely content with my life. And there's not a lot of like, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about what I should have done differently and stuff like that. I'm very, very lucky and fortunate. And I try to have the opinion of like, oh, I would rather not go back in time and change anything ever because I'm very happy in the place that I am. And if I change any single dial, then like butterfly effect, everything else is going to change. And there's a good chance that I wouldn't have what I have now, right? But if I could go back and not get addicted to nicotine when I was 13, there's a pretty good argument for that. I still have some time to quit. I read a study recently that said people who quit smoking at 35 have the same life expectancy as people who've never smoked. So I have a few years left, but that is kind of weighed up by another anecdote that I heard the other day, which my mom has a friend who's like 60 and quit smoking for 20 years and has recently started smoking a pack a day again. So like, yeah, quitting at 35 is fine, but you're probably not going to quit at 35 if you smoked a lot. And like every single person I've ever talked to who has quit smoking is like, yeah, man, the urge never goes away. It sucks. It really sucks. I've talked to people who are like, I've quit heroin, I've quit crack, and I've never gotten away from cigarettes. But I find stopped smoking once you got kids, worked out pretty well. Yeah, I know people like that. I think one of the things too is like definitely your surroundings, right? Like the US party example I gave earlier is a really good example. If every party I went to for the rest of my life was an American party, there's a pretty good chance I would never smoke again. I might still vape or something like that, right? Like, because it's just too much. Like the nicotine addiction is unfortunately like too much part of my daily routine now, or like my daily life. But the way I always slip back from vaping into cigarettes is I go out with friends and they're smoking, and it is a different experience. It really is. And you kind of buy a pack, and then you got the pack at home, and you guys have been there if you're addicted as well, right? But like if I change the people I hung out with, which I don't want to because I love my friends, but I'm just saying like a lot of it is your surroundings and stuff like that. U.S. college party scene is riddled with smoking and vaping. It's probably just the people that I party with in the U.S. are fucking losers. I'm sorry. It's like the TwitchCon parties and the Nintendo streamers and shit like that. It's like it's just not, you know. Man, I remember. Oh God. I've been to so many like, and this is I'm telling you this because like as someone who grew up drinking and going to parties and stuff like that in like a rural town, and just like that was mostly what I did with my weekends from ages like 13, 14 till like 20. I have like, and now I'm like back like going to like techno parties and shit like that. Like I've been out a lot, okay? And it's an experience thing, right? And I've been to like some of these like TwitchCon parties, and I'm explicitly not going to name any names here at all, but like a lot of these parties I'll go to, and it's very obvious that there's people there who are like my age, which is late 20s, and who are completely inexperienced with partying and their alcohol. It's crazy. Here's the thing, okay? I think personally, if you, how do I want to say this? I think once you hit like 25, you should at least always make it to the bathroom before you throw up. I think that's a reasonable take, right? I think at some point in your life, you have to learn a reasonable relationship with alcohol and where your limits are. You can't be like puking on the club floor. You can't be waddling outside and puking onto the side of the street at like 27, dude. So I've made this experience that like I'll be at like a TwitchCon party, and maybe me and one friend are the only people who are like kind of experienced partiers, and everyone else is like a 16-year-old in a 26-year-old body, and we're running from like station to station, emergency to emergency. It's like, oh, this person lost their phone. Oh, this person's fucking throwing up on the fucking street. And like just being the parents of the party is not fun, okay? I'm sorry. You can't be getting like blackout. Somebody else has to like be in your Uber with you and get you home at like 27, man. Like, I'm not saying everybody should grow up partying and make that experience. I'm more saying that if you didn't, then like, especially an event like this, like chill out, you know? You've come this far in your adult life without having to get blackout drunk all the time. Another night's not going to kill you. Have a drink or two and chill. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? Anyway, let's build an E4 team. I'll level everyone to 47, and then we'll make a save state. Because of, like, TMs and stuff like that, right? Nice rant. Save that one for the incoming pChal rants channel. I fucking hate that in this game, if you move a Pokemon with your... Oh, wait, this works. Never mind. Okay, I take it all back. I didn't say anything. How's your experience as a driver to parties staying sober? I personally think that staying sober, smoking cigs, and watch your friends have fun is one of the most fun things about being a driver. The whole designated driver thing isn't as big of a cultural thing in Germany, or at least the parts that I'm from, because you could always reasonably expect to get home via public transportation, so everyone could get drunk. What I will say is that at the age of like, when was this? 22? When I first started going to TwitchCons, I met a person from my community from back then when I was a small streamer, one of my mods, who I'm still very good friends with to this day. Shout out Ewok. And before that, I think at 22, I was still very much like I gotta get drunk at parties to enjoy myself, right? I'm anxious, I'm self-conscious, and I want to loosen up, so I'm just getting drunk, right? And it's not even that, like, directly. It's also just, like, you're used to partying when you're drunk, so you're afraid to do it when you're sober. And my friend that I met and that I went to, like, parties with and stuff like that in the US, he just doesn't drink. Just doesn't drink any alcohol, right? And what was crazy is that we would go to these parties, and he was able to always, no matter how drunk everyone else was, how crazy the party was, he was able to match the vibe of everyone else in such a cool way where, like, you would almost think that he's also drunk. And that kind of made me realize that, like, because he had never drank alcohol, but he would always go to parties in college and shit, he had just had a lot of practice partying sober. And it was like, oh, wait, I don't need alcohol to loosen up. I'm just used to partying when I'm drunk, and I've never practiced partying when I'm sober. And that was so impressive to me that when I went back home, I started just staying like sober at some parties, maybe having one drink, you know? And I realized this is totally possible. Like, you can totally do this. And if you can't, even after trying for a while, that probably means you're just at a shit party with shit people. Taking various substances when I party, like, don't get me wrong, and I still do. Most of the parties that I go to, I will be consuming something because that's fun for me, okay? But it's just a nice confidence boost to see that you don't have to. And I think it changes your relationship to drugs in general and your relationship to partying a lot to realize that you don't need that, you know? Because of that, it just makes partying more fun in general, even the ones where you do like not stay sober, you know? And dude, also at some point, I think when you hit like your mid-20s, do you guys know those people at parties? If someone doesn't drink, they're like, oh, come on. Come on, join us. And the crazy part is that those people are always the ones who drink the most. You ever notice that? They're always the ones getting the most f***ed up. Because what I think is happening, those people are self-conscious about their relationship to alcohol and the fact that they don't have the self-control to not drink. So seeing someone else able to not drink at a party makes them self-conscious, makes them self-aware, right? Which is why they're trying to push them to drink. That's my theory. People do that in Germany a lot. I had a friend visiting for his birthday that I should drink with him everything. Yeah. I understand at like 19 when you don't know any better to be like that, and you can do it under the guise of like, oh, I just want everyone to have a good time, you know? But at like, even at like 24, like, dude, like there's so many branching paths that lead people down so many different roads in life at that point. Like you have no idea what the other person's situation is. It's even more uncomfortable when like guys do it to girls too. That one always like, whoof. Even though they might do it with a man just the same way, it's just that dynamic always really, really irks me. I think it's one of those things too that like actually like calling it out. Like I think I'm at a point in my life where I would. It depends on what like my relationship to everyone involved is, but like I'm saying like if someone does it to me, right, I'm 100% like calling it out as being like super like immature behavior. Your attack and special attack are equal. I'm not going to press it. Actually, you know what? Agility, baton pass, giraffe rig might be like a whole thing. So we're just going to keep psychic here. I don't really think that, I guess you would rather Zen headbutt muck. But whatever. I mean, don't even get me started on like clubbing culture. And I very specifically like offset from techno culture. Because I love techno, but just like the kind of clubs that you go to like get drunk and like scream along to really shitty pop music to the worst DJ you've ever heard and like make out with people on the dance floor. Like what kind of shit is that? Are you 16? Like, and that's every club in the United States of America that I've ever been to. So yeah, I think I'm just describing American clubs. I think Magneton, by the way, just doesn't learn Thunderbolt in this game. We should probably start thinking about casino TMs at this point, chat. So what I'm probably going to do is when I'm done leveling everyone, we're going to go in and like hack in those guys real quick. Because you can't buy coins in this game, so do I want Magnet Bomb? It's physical. It's because they can't drink until 21. Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of what I've experienced with party culture in the US is just like, oh, you guys are just like 5 years behind me, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying I think a lower drinking age is necessarily like better policy-wise. I have no idea. I've never like looked at the data on that, but I'm just saying like I'd notice like severe differences culturally, you know. It probably also just depends what kind of culture you grow up in the US, because there is absolutely people, and I know a lot of people who did start drinking at 13 in the US just like me. It kind of like, but if you grow up in like a upper middle class, like kind of you're getting sent to after school activities all the time and your parents are like on your shit all the time, it's obviously different, right? I'm not sure if it's exactly class related, but I bet it would probably be to some degree. So in Germany, you can legally buy beer and wine when you're 16. So if you're 15, you have a bunch of friends that can buy you alcohol just from school. If you're 14, you have a bunch of kids that can buy you alcohol in school. Like, it's pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's crazy. Yeah, and then at Spirits, it's 18. Yo, Swords Dance Gligar? Maybe? For something? Swords Dance Gligar on Bruno? Does Gligar get, like, any good moves? Or are we stuck with, like, Slash? Does it get Earthquake TM, actually? It probably does, right? This can set up to +6 on Hitmontop easily. I think that's not super relevant. I should have taught X Scissor there for Will, I guess. And you know what? I will actually go back and teach it so I don't forget later. Gas station cashiers also kind of don't give a shit in Germany. Depends. I've definitely met ones that don't give a shit, yeah. But like I haven't looked not 16 in a while, so we delete slash, and I think, do you learn the earthquake TM? Do we need to make a list of TMs that we have available at this point? That sounds like a huge fucking pain in the ass. That sounds like an insanely huge pain in the ass, man. Maybe, can we just like try to collectively think of some that would be important that are like not casino or earthquake or dark pulse or department store related? I'm not testing Shuckle. I refuse to test Shuckle. Can I get Vileplume at this point without... I don't think I can. I've also decided I'm totally testing Machamp. Yeah, I'm not getting the Pokeathlon items. It makes things too weird. Can't Shuckle solo Will? You know what? I guess I will level him up.